Today, we're breaking down a true global phenomenon, Cristiano Ronaldo. But this goes way beyond just football. We're looking at how a modern superstar's career can send shockwaves through sports, business, and even a country's identity.
Okay, let's just start with a single mind-blowing number. 450. We're talking 450 goals.
In just 438 games for Real Madrid. I mean, think about that. That's more than a goal every single time he stepped on the field. A stat like that is legendary on its own. But as you're about to see, his real influence radiates far, far beyond the pitch.
So what really makes up a modern superstar's influence? That's what we're really getting into today. We're going to break down how just one person can create these massive ripple effects that are felt across clubs, entire leagues, and even shape a nation's image on the world stage.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we have to start with the foundation, his insane, record-shattering performance. Then, we'll see how that power transforms leagues and clubs. After that, we'll look at a side of him you might not know as well, his charity work. And finally, we'll get into the secret sauce, the blueprint for longevity that makes it all possible.
First up, just to get our bearings, let's quickly trace his journey. It kicks off with that explosive start at Manchester United, then that world record move to Real Madrid, a stint in Italy, a big return to England, and then, of course, the groundbreaking transfer to Saudi Arabia.
All right, so let's get into part one, the record-breaking goal scorer. It all starts here. Seriously, without this unbelievable excellence on the field, nothing else we're talking about today happens. This is the foundation of it all.
You know, those 9 seasons he had in Spain, they were just on another planet. He didn't just play for Real Madrid, he completely rewired the club's DNA and set a whole new standard for what it means to be the best.
Now, what's so cool about this is how the numbers just paint this picture of complete and total dominance. Look at that, more goals than games. 4 Champions League trophies, we're talking the absolute pinnacle of European football, and 4 Ballon d'Or awards, which is for the best player in the world. Just an incredible era for him and for the club.
And you know, it wasn't just at the club level. Playing for his country, Portugal, he scored 143 goals, making him the highest men's international goal scorer in the history of the sport. It really cemented his legacy on a truly global scale.
Okay, so that brings us to our second part, transforming leagues and clubs. Because this is the big question, right? How does that individual brilliance on the field actually become a force that can reshape entire organizations, even entire leagues? Let's check out that ripple effect.
His move to the Saudi Pro League is the perfect case study here. When he signed, he literally said he was there to change the culture. And man, the data shows this instant, seismic shift in global attention. It's a wild example of how one athlete can become a vehicle for what some people call sports diplomacy.
Ronaldo's move, all by itself, created a bigger social media explosion for his new club than the transfers of Lionel Messi and Neymar did for theirs, combined.
The impact on the league itself was just as staggering. This chart shows global Google searches for the Saudi Pro League. Before Ronaldo, it's basically a flat line. After he showed up, boom, interest just explodes, a more than 30-fold increase in most countries in just 1 year. He basically put the entire league on the global map overnight.
Now, to put that into perspective, it would take the official tourism account 80 years to get that same level of engagement.
All right, part 3, the champion of charity. Because his impact isn't just about goals and money. There's a really significant philanthropic side to his career that, honestly, often gets overlooked. I mean, throughout his career, he's made some huge donations. He auctioned one of his Golden Boot Awards for £1.2 million to build schools in Gaza. He donated a €600,000 bonus from winning the Champions League, and he raised over £500,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And that's really just scratching the surface.
And it goes beyond just writing checks. He also serves as a global ambassador for huge charities like Save the Children, UNICEF, and World Vision, lending his massive platform to raise awareness for causes that help improve kids' lives all over the world.
And that brings us to our final section, the blueprint for longevity. So how in the world has he stayed at this elite level for more than 20 years? Well, the answer isn't just talent. It's this relentless, almost obsessive discipline that powers his entire career.
His diet is basically a masterclass in sports science. It's all about lean proteins to repair muscle, complex carbs for energy that lasts, constant hydration, and super precise meal timing to make his recovery as efficient as possible. It's not a diet, it's a high-performance fueling strategy.
And this is the key right here. It's the synergy, the way his intense training, his meticulous nutrition, and his dedication to rest all work together. This disciplined, scientific approach is the engine that has allowed him to sustain his influence for so long.
A really big question. Has Cristiano Ronaldo totally redefined the blueprint for what an athlete can be? Is this the new model for a superstar, an influencer, not just in sports, but in business, culture, and maybe even global affairs? It's a lot to think about.